They say every man has his secrets. But some men have entire secret lives, complete with different names, different families, and different children who call them dad. My name is Darius Brown. I am 19 years old, and last Sunday I walked into a mansion in Naperville and introduced myself to the family my father had been hiding from us for 15 years. The look on his face when I said, "Hi, Dad, why did not you tell them about us?" was worth every moment of pain he had caused. It started with a Facebook suggestion. You know how the algorithm works, showing you people you may know based on mysterious connections and data points. There he was, Robert Richardson, looking exactly like my father Robert Brown, because he was my father Robert Brown. Same face, same smile, same distinctive scar above his left eyebrow from when he fell off his bike as a kid. But everything else was different. In his profile picture, he stood in front of a 2-story house with a 3-car garage, his arm around a blonde woman in designer clothes, 3 kids arranged perfectly like a Christmas card. The bio read, "Blessed husband to Jennifer, proud father of Madison, Tyler, and little Sophia. Regional sales director at Morrison Industries. Living my best life in Naperville." I stared at that photo for 20 minutes, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. My father, who told us he could barely make rent on our 2-bedroom apartment in Englewood, standing in front of a house that had to cost at least $500,000. My father, who missed my high school graduation because of a mandatory work conference, wearing Mickey Mouse ears at Disney World with kids I had never seen before. "Mama," I called out from my room. "Can you come here?" My mother, Patricia Brown, walked in wearing her CNA scrubs, about to leave for her night shift at Cook County Hospital. She had been working doubles all month to cover the rent since Dad's paycheck got messed up again. "What is it, baby?" "I need to leave in 10 minutes. I turned my laptop screen toward her. "Who is this?" She squinted at the screen, then her face went pale. "Where did you get this?" "Facebook." "Who are these people, Mama?" She sat down on my bed, suddenly looking older than her 42 years. "I do not know. That is Dad. That is not your father. Your father's name is Robert Brown, not Richardson." "Mama, look at his face. That is Dad." She looked closer, and I saw the exact moment she recognized him. Her hand went to her mouth, tears immediately filling her eyes. "That son of a bitch," she whispered, and my mother never cursed. "You did not know." I suspected something. The late nights, the weekend business trips, the way his phone was always on silent. But another family? 3 other kids? I never imagined. I scrolled through his profile. It was not private, probably because he never thought we would find it. Years of photos. Birthday parties in backyard pools. Christmas mornings with presents piled high. First days of school at Naperville North High School. Soccer games, piano recitals, family vacations to places we could never afford. "Look at this," I said, clicking on a photo from 2 weeks ago. Madison Richardson's Sweet 16 party. The photo showed a massive party at a country club. Pink and gold everything, a 3-tier cake, what looked like 100 guests. Dad stood next to a beautiful teenage girl in a designer dress, both of them smiling. The caption read, "My princess is 16. Time flies when you are blessed. So proud of the young woman you are becoming. Love, Dad." Mama made a sound like someone had punched her in the stomach. 2 weeks ago was my sister Jasmine's 16th birthday. Dad had sent a text saying happy birthday and $20 on Cash App. Said he wished he could do more, but money was tight. "Keep looking," Mama said, her voice hard now. I went deeper into his profile. Found his wedding anniversary post from 3 months ago. 10 amazing years with my soulmate Jennifer Richardson. Every day with you is a blessing. Here's to forever. 10 years. He had been married to this woman for 10 years. But he had been with my mother for 20 years. They were not legally married because Dad always said weddings were a waste of money. But she wore a ring, considered herself his wife, had 3 kids with him. "I need to sit down," Mama said, but she was already sitting. "I need to think. We have to confront him." "No, not yet. I need to know more." I spent the next 3 hours doing detective work while Mama called out sick from work for the first time in 5 years. Jennifer Richardson had her own profile, also public. She was a real estate agent, pretty successful from the looks of it. Top seller in DuPage County 3 years running. Her posts were all about her perfect family, her amazing husband, their blessed life. Madison Richardson, the 16-year-old, was on Instagram. Her bio read Daddy's Girl, with a heart emoji. Her feed was full of typical teenage stuff, but also photos with Dad. Dad teaching her to drive in a BMW. Dad at her volleyball games. Dad helping with homework. Dad being the father he never was to us. Tyler Richardson had a gaming YouTube channel with 12,000 subscribers. In his About section, he thanked his parents for supporting his dreams and buying him his gaming setup. I looked at the setup in his videos. Thousands of dollars of equipment in a room bigger than the one I shared with my brother. Even little Sophia, who looked about 8, had an Instagram account managed by her mother. Dance classes, gymnastics, horseback riding lessons. A childhood funded by the money that should have been split between two families. Look at this, I told Mama, showing her a photo from last Christmas. The Richardson family in matching pajamas in front of a 12-foot tree. Presents everywhere. Dad in the middle looking like the world's greatest father. Last Christmas he said he had to work, Mama whispered. We had mac and cheese and watched movies. I wrapped presents from the dollar store so you kids would have something to open. I found more. So much more. Dad at Tyler's baseball games, sitting in the stands like a regular suburban father. Dad at Madison's National Honor Society induction, proud as could be. Dad teaching Sophia to ride a bike in their massive driveway. All the moments he missed with us, he was giving to them. How? Mama kept asking. How did he have time? How did he afford it? How did I not know? The how became clearer as I searched. Robert Richardson worked at Morrison Industries as a regional sales director. Salary range probably $150,000 to $200,000 according to Glassdoor. Robert Brown, the identity we knew, worked construction and odd jobs, barely making $30,000 a year, always behind on everything. He has been living a double life, I said, complete with different jobs, different income levels, different everything. What about Jasmine and Marcus? Mama asked about my younger siblings. How do I tell them their father has another family he loves more? We do not know he loves them more. Look at these pictures, Darius. Look at their life. Then look at ours. He chose who to give his real life to, and it was not us. My phone buzzed. My brother Marcus, 17 and a senior in high school, texting from his part-time job at Foot Locker. Dad just came into the store. That was weird. Dad never came to the mall in Orland Park where Marcus worked. It was 40 minutes from our apartment and 20 minutes from Naperville in the opposite direction. With who? I texted back. Some white lady and a kid. They are shopping for basketball shoes. Take a picture. A minute later, the photo came through. Dad in khakis and a polo shirt, clothes I had never seen him wear, with Jennifer Richardson and Tyler, looking at a pair of $200 Jordans. He is with them right now, I showed Mama. While I thought he was at work. We are going. Darius, no. We are going, Mama. Right now. You deserve to face him. I cannot. What would I even say? The truth. That he is a liar, a cheater, a fraud. That he has been stealing from his own children to fund his fake family's lifestyle. They are not fake. Those children are real. They are innocent. So are we, and we have been suffering while they thrive. Mama looked at the picture again, at Dad laughing with his other son, probably about to buy him shoes that cost more than our grocery budget for a month. Get your sister, she said. We are all going. Jasmine was in her room doing homework. When we told her, she did not believe it at first. Then she saw the photos and broke down crying. He has another daughter, she kept saying. Another 16-year-old daughter? We are going to confront him, I said. You do not have to come if. I am coming. I want to look him in the face when he tries to explain this. The drive to Orland Park was silent except for Jasmine's sniffles from the back seat. Mama gripped the steering wheel so tight her knuckles went white. I kept refreshing Facebook, watching Jennifer Richardson post in real time. Shopping day with my boys. So blessed to have a husband who makes family time a priority. We got to the mall and found them in the food court. The perfect suburban family sharing pizza and laughing. Dad saw us first. I watched his face go through every possible emotion, confusion, recognition, terror, calculation. He stood up so fast he knocked over his drink. "Patricia," he said, like maybe if he said it soft enough his other family would not hear. "Robert," Mama said, walking straight up to the table. "Or is it Bobby? I am confused." Jennifer Richardson looked between them, confused. "Bobby, who is this?" "This is Patricia Brown," Mama said. "I have been with your husband for 20 years. These are his children, Darius and Jasmine. His son Marcus is working in Foot Locker, but I am sure Bobby here forgot that too." "That is impossible," Jennifer said. "Bobby, tell her she is confused." Dad stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. Tyler, who looked about 14, stared at me. "You look just like my dad," he said. "That is because he is my dad too," I said. "Has been for 19 years. Bobby." Jennifer's voice was rising. "What is going on?" "We should discuss this privately," Dad finally managed. "Privately?" Mama laughed, but it was not a happy sound. "Like the private life you have been living? The private family you have been funding with money that should have fed your other children." People were starting to stare. Mall security was eyeing us. Jennifer grabbed her children and pulled them close. "This woman is clearly disturbed," she said. "Bobby, should we call security?" "Call them," Mama said. "Call the police too. I would love to explain to them how Robert Brown and Bobby Richardson are the same person with 2 social security numbers, which I am pretty sure is fraud." Dad's face went white. "You do not know what you are talking about. I know our lights got cut off last month while you were posting pictures from your country club membership. I know Darius could not afford his college textbooks while Tyler here has a gaming setup worth thousands. I know Jasmine wore the same shoes with holes for a year while Madison got a sweet 16 party that cost more than our yearly rent. Is this true?" Jennifer asked Dad. "Do you have another family?" Dad looked at her, then at us, then back at her. "It is complicated." "Complicated," I said. "What is complicated about it? You have been lying to everyone for years. You have 2 complete families, and you chose which one to actually provide for." "I provided for you," he said weakly. "You sent $20 for my birthday," Jasmine said, tears streaming down her face. "I saw Madison's party on Facebook. That party cost more than you have given us in 5 years." Tyler was on his phone, and I knew he was searching. His face changed as he found things. "Mom, look at this." He showed her his phone. It was my Instagram, full of pictures of Dad with us over the years. Dad at my 8th grade graduation. Dad teaching Marcus to ride a bike. Dad with baby Jasmine. All the proof that we were not lying, that we existed, that we were his children too. 15 years, Jennifer whispered. "We have been married 10 years. You had another family the whole time." "Jennifer, please, let me explain." "Explain what?" Mama interrupted. "Explain how you married her while still being with me. Explain how you gave them everything while your other children went without. Explain how you became a completely different person with a different name and different life." Mall security arrived then, 2 officers who looked like they really did not want to deal with this. "Is there a problem here?" one asked. "No problem," Dad said quickly. "We were just leaving." "We are not going anywhere," Mama said. "This man has been living under 2 identities, which I believe is illegal." "Ma'am, this seems like a domestic issue." "It is fraud is what it is," I said. "He has been filing taxes under 2 different names, working jobs under 2 different social security numbers." That got their attention. "Sir, can we see some identification?" Dad looked panicked. My wallet is in the car." "Which name is it under?" I asked. "Brown or Richardson?" Jennifer was backing away with her kids. "We are leaving. Bobby or Robert, or whoever you are, do not come home." "Jennifer, wait." But she was already walking away, her children following, all of them in shock. Tyler looked back at me once, and I saw my own confusion reflected in his face. We were brothers who did not know each other existed, victims of the same man's deception. The security officers took Dad's information, both versions of it, and said they would be reporting it to the authorities. Dad tried to follow Jennifer to the parking lot, but she drove away without him. He stood there in the parking lot, his suburban dream shattered. "How could you?" Mama asked him when he came back. "I never meant for it to go this far," he said. "How far did you mean for it to go? When you married another woman? When you had 3 more kids? When you bought them a house while we lived in poverty? It just happened. For 15 years? He had no answer for that. The aftermath was swift and brutal. Jennifer filed for divorce immediately. She posted everything on Facebook, the whole story, warning other women about the man she thought she knew. The suburban community that had embraced Bobby Richardson turned their backs on him completely. Mama hired a lawyer with money she borrowed from her sister. Turned out, Dad had been smart about some things and stupid about others. The marriage to Jennifer was legal. The marriage to my mother was not, because they had never officially wed. But that also meant his marriage to Jennifer was bigamous in spirit if not in law, since he had been presenting himself as married to both women. The identity fraud was real, though. He had been using a deceased cousin's social security number for his Richardson identity, which was a federal crime. The IRS got involved when they realized he had been filing separate tax returns under both identities, claiming different dependents, essentially double-dipping on deductions. Within a month, Dad was facing federal charges for identity theft, tax fraud, and social security fraud. Both families' assets were frozen, while the government sorted out what belonged to whom. The house in Naperville had to be sold. The country club membership, the cars, the whole suburban fantasy dissolved. But the real devastation was emotional. Madison Richardson, the Sweet 16 princess, messaged me on Instagram. "I do not understand. How could he do this? Was my whole life a lie?" I did not know what to tell her. Her life was built on lies, but her experience of it was real. Her father's love might have been divided, but it was not necessarily fake. He just loved her with resources stolen from us. Tyler reached out too. We met at a Starbucks halfway between our neighborhoods. 2 brothers who should have grown up together, but were strangers instead. "Did you know about us?" he asked. "No." "Did you know about us?" "Never." He said his family was all dead. Said he was an orphan who made good. He told us his parents died when he was young too. But I bet they are alive somewhere, probably with another family we do not know about. We compared notes, piecing together the father we thought we knew. Tyler's dad was involved, present, generous. My dad was distant, absent, struggling. But they were the same man, just choosing where to direct his energy and resources. "He came to all my games," Tyler said. "He missed all of mine. He helped me with homework every night. He was never home at night. He said education was the most important thing. He said the same thing, then could not pay for my college application fees." We sat there, 2 versions of what could have been, divided by our father's choices. Marcus took it the hardest. He had idolized Dad, made excuses for his absences, believed his promises that things would get better. Finding out Dad had been lavishing attention and resources on another son his exact age broke something in him. "He chose them," Marcus kept saying. "He had enough love and money and time. He just chose to give it to them instead of us." "It is not that simple," Mama tried to explain, but it was exactly that simple. Dad had made a choice every single day for 15 years to prioritize one family over another. Jasmine channeled her anger into investigation. She found more social media accounts, more evidence of Dad's double life. She found photos of him at Madison's kindergarten graduation on the same day he missed hers because of work. She found receipts for Tyler's birthday presents that cost more than our monthly groceries. She documented everything, creating a timeline of lies that spanned her entire life. The criminal case moved forward slowly. Dad's lawyer argued that the identity fraud was a misunderstanding. that he had been trying to provide for two families and got in over his head. But the prosecutors were not sympathetic. He had knowingly committed fraud for financial gain, filing false tax returns and collecting benefits under false pretenses. The civil case was messy. Jennifer wanted everything, arguing that she was the legal wife and the innocent victim. Mama wanted child support for all the years Dad had shortchanged us to fund his suburban life. The Richardson kids wanted their college funds protected. We wanted what we had never gotten, our fair share. In the end, there was not much to divide. The house sale barely covered the legal fees and back taxes. The cars were repossessed. The country club membership was worthless. The only thing of value was Dad's legitimate job at Morrison Industries, which he lost as soon as they found out about the fraud. Dad ended up pleading guilty to reduced charges to avoid a longer sentence. He got 18 months in federal prison and 5 years probation. At his sentencing, both families were there. The Richardson kids sat on one side, us on the other, like some twisted version of a wedding where both sides were the bride's family betrayed by the same groom. "I want to apologize to everyone I hurt," Dad said at the sentencing. "I never meant for it to go this far. I loved both my families. I just did not know how to choose." "You did choose," I said from the gallery, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Every single day you chose. You just chose them." The judge sentenced him to 18 months, but the real sentence was the loss of everything he had built, both versions of his life. The suburban dream and the urban struggle, both destroyed by his deception. After the sentencing, Jennifer approached Mama in the courthouse hallway. "I am sorry," she said. "I did not know. Neither did I. Not the extent of it. The children, they are innocent in this. All the children are innocent. Yours and mine." They looked at each other, two women who had loved the same man, been betrayed by the same lies, left to clean up the same mess. "Maybe," Jennifer started, then stopped. "Maybe the kids should know each other. They are siblings, after all." And that is how the strangest part of this story began. The merging of two families who should never have been separate. Madison and Jasmine, born just 3 months apart, started talking online, bonding over their shared betrayal. Marcus and Tyler played video games together, finding common ground in virtual worlds since their real world had been shattered. Even little Sophia started visiting, playing with my youngest cousin, creating bonds that should have existed from the beginning. Dad went to prison on a Tuesday in March. We did not go to see him off. Neither did the Richardson family. He left alone, the man with 2 families ending up with none. But the families he created found each other. Not in the way he intended, not built on lies, but on shared truth. Jennifer and Mama became unlikely allies, navigating the legal system together, supporting each other through the trauma. They were not friends exactly, but they were united in their determination to protect their children from the fallout of Dad's choices. I started college that fall, community college, because that is all we could afford, but I went. Tyler was already at University of Illinois, his college fund protected by his mother's lawyer. We met up sometimes, grabbed coffee, tried to figure out what brotherhood meant when you discovered it at 19 and 14. "Do you hate him?" Tyler asked me once. "I hate what he did. I hate that he made us live in poverty while you lived in plenty. I hate that he was present for you and absent for us. But hate him? I do not know. He is still my father. He was a good dad to us," Tyler said quietly. "Until we found out he was being a bad dad to you. Maybe that is worse. Knowing he was capable of being good, he just chose not to be good to us. There was no comfort in that truth, just acknowledgement. 3 years have passed now. I am 22, about to graduate with a degree in accounting because I want to understand money, how it moves, how people hide it, how they steal it. Marcus is in college too, community college like me, studying computer science. Jasmine is thriving at Whitney Young, one of the best high schools in Chicago, determined to get into Northwestern on her own merit, without anyone's help. Dad got out of prison 6 months ago. He reached out, wanting to reconcile, to explain, to rebuild. Some of his kids were willing to listen. Tyler meets him for lunch sometimes. Madison will text him back occasionally. Sophia is too young to hold the grudge. She probably should. But us, his first family, his practice family, as I think of us sometimes, we are done. Mama moved on, started dating a man who has one name, one family, one life that he lives honestly. She smiles more now, laughs easier, seems lighter without the weight of Dad's secrets. I knew something was wrong, she told me recently. Deep down, I always knew. But I loved him, and I wanted to believe his lies more than I wanted to see the truth. That is not your fault. No, but staying was my choice. And now leaving is my choice too. Dad lives in a studio apartment now, works at a call center, pays what child support he can to both families. The man who once maintained two perfect facades now has nothing to hide behind. He is just Robert Brown Richardson, convicted felon, absent father, cautionary tale. Sometimes I check Jennifer's Facebook. She has rebuilt her life, sells real estate, posts about being a single mother, a survivor, a warrior. She does not mention Dad, has erased him from her history like he was never there. The kids still exist in her photos, but their father has been cropped out, leaving weird empty spaces where he used to be. Those empty spaces are everywhere in our lives. The space where a father should have been at graduations, birthdays, regular Tuesday dinners. The space where security should have been, where trust should have lived, where love should have been undivided. But we filled those spaces with other things. With resilience, with truth, with the strange blended family that emerged from the wreckage, with the knowledge that we survived something that should have destroyed us. My name is Darius Brown. At 19, I discovered my father had another family, another name, another life. I exposed it all with a single Facebook search and a confrontation in a mall food court. 2 families destroyed, 6 kids left fatherless, 2 women betrayed, 1 man in prison. Some would say I should have left it alone, let sleeping dogs lie, minded my own business. But those sleeping dogs were eating food off our table. That lie was costing us our futures. That business was absolutely mind to mind. If you are listening to this and something resonates, if you have that nagging feeling that something in your family is not right, trust your instincts. The truth is usually hiding in plain sight, just a social media search away, just a question unasked, just a confrontation avoided. Do not avoid it. Do not let the secret eat away at your family's foundation until it collapses. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is expose the lie, even if it destroys everything. Because rebuilding on truth is better than living on lies. The other kids, my surprise siblings, they deserved to know who their father really was. My mother deserved to know why we struggled while others thrived. We all deserved the truth, even if it hurt, even if it destroyed everything we thought we knew. And in a strange way, we are all better for it. The Richardson kids learned early that people are not always who they seem. My siblings and I learned that we were stronger than we knew. Both mothers learned they deserved better than a part-time husband living a full-time lie. Dad learned that maintaining 2 lives means you end up with none. He wanted everything and ended up with nothing. He loved 2 families but belonged to neither. He built 2 houses of cards, and they both collapsed at the first breath of truth. There are more stories like mine, guys who refused to stay silent, who broke the cycle instead of repeating it. 2 of them are right here on your screen. Click the one that speaks to your own fight. And if you want to walk with a community that knows sometimes saving your family means stopping them, tap the bell. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.